everybody. Hi, Charlene. Hope you're all doing great. So, I thought we'd be doing something a bit different this week. I'm going to be trying this out because uh, sometimes I'll be on call at work, sometimes I'll have other stuff during the day, and it's rather rude to have interviews interrupted because I get called out or the electricity goes off or I'm half asleep, which frankly isn't really great for the interview. So what I thought I'd do today is get to some painting. I've got here Mountain Giant from Blood Rage. I think it's from 2014, but either way, it's been on my shelf for a while and it could do with a lick of paint. And yeah, I'll be honest, I'm a bit terrified because this is my first solo stream since the very first one I did it as a test. So let's see how it goes. Okay, if anyone is still watching later on, I'm going to go through the community showcase on Discord as well. So we just drop a link to that and we can get started. Okay. Here we go. But all my colors here. I'm using this for a palette. I do have a wet palette, but I want to do some work here which will not need anything, which needs a wet palette. And I've already got this started with some zenith and highlighting. Okay, just spray can, white spray can on black, so got some nice deep shadows going in there. Okay. Think I'm going to get started with the skin tones. Oh dear. This paint seems to have fossilized already, so that's a great start here. There we go. So I'm going to try to, oh, hi loosely collected, higher. I'm going to be trying to do some glazing on the skin. I did previously on the Sword of Twilight miniature a while back. I quite like the result, so I'm going to give it a shot on this guy as well. Which means that I will be going through some pretty goofy color combinations early on. Okay, and I'm going to get started on the skin tones with some, let's see, magenta and cyan. Should give an interesting purple for the darker areas of the skin where the shadows are. Okay, loosely connected, I am using acrylics. I do have some oils, but I haven't really got any practice with them yet. I think that might be something I do in a future video. Because they've been just, you know, gathering dust there, and I have used some for washes, but not actually painting an entire miniature with them. Okay. A bit too watery, maybe. There we go. Okay, so how are you doing on this Sunday? Anyone working on anything interesting? I think I want to zoom this a little. Okay, so all I'm doing right now is painting some purple into the darker areas where the skin is. And the good thing about starting with a genital highlight like this is that it really gives you a really good map to where the lights and the shadows are. Mm, there we go. I'm not sure, to be honest, because again, I don't know any miniature painters who normally use oils here. It's not just a YouTube thing, I mean, even people out in the wild. But on YouTube, the only person that I've seen use oils regularly is James Hopper, I believe. So I'm not sure if there's, I don't know, more Europeans using it or more Americans. But how did you spend your Sunday, Karl? Well, Sunday evening, I just spent a few minutes painting Giant's butt cheeks purple. Okay. So yeah, the sculpts of these blood red miniatures are really good. The thing is that I think they're actually cast in multi-part and pre-assembled, so that there are some places that can be a bit hard to reach. It would have been nice to have the option to uh, have them come in parts and then be able to assemble the paint into those reaches first. But other than that, I think I really like these miniatures. Oh, so yeah, so far just mapping out the deeper shadows. Yeah, I guess I could. Just I don't know what they're bonded with, so I didn't want to risk breaking them. Should probably keep this in frame. I mean, it's already weird enough that I'm not constantly talking over this, and yeah, having an empty screen will just make it just weirder. Hi, Chris Bertolini, good to see you. Oh, nice camping. Questboard terrain out in the wild. Never have to worry about glue when you have a Dremel. I'll be honest, I have a Dremel. I'm not very familiar with using it. I just use it a few times, I think. It's one of those tools that came in super handy once, but I never touched again. But yeah, I think we can work with this. I mean, I'll be honest, I mean, this isn't like a painting tutorial. I'm just going to be trying stuff up. There's no guarantee it won't end up looking like us, so well, at least you might learn what not to do. Okay, so this mini is from the Blood Rage board game. If I remember correctly, it was released in 2013, 2014. Not exactly sure about the date, but I was in a Kickstarter bender back then, and I believe this was one of the stretch goals. But I think it's still available commercially. So, if I remember correctly, that's from Mike McVeigh Studios. He's a guy who used to do miniature painting for Games Workshop back in the day, and some sculpting, if I'm not mistaken. But again, this I think is way ahead of the sculpting quality of Games Workshop back in the day. Hey Chris, good to see you. I was actually thinking about you, Chris, about when I was thinking about this stream because I don't really care about painting miniatures for the sake of having painted miniatures on the table, but I do want to have some, nicely painted stuff to show when I'm showing up the terrain. And yeah, no offense to you and Colin, the Chaos Warrior. I know that's kind of the poster child for your child. How's the sound, by the way? Is it coming through clear? Just using the smaller headset instead of the usual microphone to save some space on the desk. Hey, Danji Matron, good to see you. How are you today? Ooh, you're painting too. Just a second to remind everyone. community showcase is open, so if anyone wants to show off some stuff, they can drop it in there. Okay, so that's where I'm at so far. My plan is to glaze over this with a skin tone later on, so it shouldn't be that purple looking later on. Okay. I should really have checked this tube before I picked it up for this, because this is one of my older ones, I think. On the plus side, you know, these tube acrylics are still usable after, I want to say, 10 years. I mean, if you had a pot of miniature paint after 10 years, it wouldn't really be usable. Yeah, exactly. Carrefour Models Cross. Ooh, Halloween stuff. And late breakfast. Nice. Okay, some of this head. I mean, this could end up terribly wrong, and my next video could be how to strip plastic miniatures or something like that. But yeah, we'll try. Last summer or fall, I moved all my gaming paint in pots to droppers, and I had paint that was 20 to 30 years old. Oh, wow. That's really good, because, I mean, I've had pots of paint go bad on me fairly quickly. Might be something to do with the weather conditions here, or humidity, or maybe just ended up getting a bad batch. Although it was more than one batch, if I remember correctly. Stay in frame. This is one of the reasons I don't really do miniature painting videos. That having to remember to stay in frame. At least right now I have to look at the screen every now and then to look at the chat. But if I'm just painting on my own, I just forget all about the camera, which can be a bit of a problem. I used to put a drop or two of liquid dish soap in a pot when I bought it, then shook it up to stir it in. That was so traditional paints, not sure what it would do for washes, inks, and depend. That is pretty interesting. I mean, just that wouldn't the dish soap, do weird stuff for the consistency or make it bubble up or stuff like that. Tell you what, I will try it on my next batch of paints. See what happens. Or I could just paint more than one miniature every 2 or 3 years and not have that problem. Still, I mean, I'm kind of surprised that you actually had 20-year-old paints because I know that Loosely Collected is a fairly prolific painter. Come on, can do it, can do it. So right now I shouldn't even have to worry too much about painting outside of the lines, but try to avoid it when possible. It adds a bit of glycerin, which actually helps with thinning the paint a bit. It helps with surface tension too, seemed to work fine. However, I think a bit of matte acrylic medium might be better. Hmm. Alright. Look, paint chemistry is a pretty complex subject. It's also a very interesting one. Oh my god. They've been amazing. How are you, my man? Long time no see. How have you been? Consider me a mildly informed mad scientist of hobby stuff. Okay? We love mad science over here. It's the best kind of science. I'm doing very well, thank you. Just trying new stuff with the stream and stuff like that. 'Cause, basically, I've got some days when either the stream might be interrupted or I'm not at the top of my game at that day or whatever reason. So I thought I could do something like this just to be doing something without actually roping in someone else and taking up their time. And because if I have to interrupt the stream for whatever reason, then I don't like inviting someone in and then just having to drop them out of the stream midway. It feels very rude. Okay, I want to try mixing the Four Horsemen with that Bringer RPG to create a definitive Warhammer Fantasy for EZD6. Ooh. Okay, I'm not sure how we'd go about mixing that Bringer and EZD6 rules because they do seem to. I mean, I get mixing the spirit of them, but in terms of actual rules, they are a bit different. They have different flavors, but other than that, yeah, it sounds awesome. And yeah, I mean the feel of the Four Horsemen was definitely inspired by the Warhammer Fantasy RPG and setting. It's one of my long-term favorite. In fact, if anyone wants to have a look at the Four Horsemen, which is my 30 years war setting for EZ6 with rules and stuff, there you go. And if anyone has played it, I would really appreciate some reviews. Plug, plug. I was really bad at advertising it, and I'm surprised it sold as well as it did. Is it just me, or does anyone else hear a soft static in the background when Karl speaks? I don't know. So yeah, if you hear soft static, let us know. Let's see. Okay, I am told that there is a little bit of static. I have to try to figure that out for the next one. I'm having a hard time hearing. Usually my TV sound is on 7.8. Now it's on 23 for the same result. Oh wow. Does it help if I talk like this? Actually, well, yeah. No, I don't know. Or no? I'm afraid this is as high as my microphone will go. Hmm. Okay, let's see if I can work on something like that. Hi, Dungeons and Critics. Good to see you. Yeah, louder is better. Yeah, my voice is a bit low in general. I just never got the hang of raising it very much unless I'm shouting at something. Nah, I'm a cupcake. Okay, so this is where I'm at so far. I will need another dot of magenta to continue. You know, this whole underpainting thing I find no, Lisa, you do not want to hear that. You do not want to hear that. So Dungeons and Clerics, I'm always late to the party. What are you painting? This is the mountain giant from Blood Rage. It's a 2013-2014 board game from Mike McVeigh Studios. That's actually a really fun game. If anyone can find it, it's a pretty good value. There are plenty of miniatures in there, but also the game itself is quite a lot of fun. So here we are painting a giant's bicep. So if I remember correctly, this particular model was a stretch goal, so I think it might be sold separately from the main kit. But the core set does have a frost giant and a fire giant, which are also unpainted. So I mean, if we keep doing this thing, I might be doing them up in a future stream. So let's see. Okay, this is very much so far. And it's time to go for the really weird stuff. Okay, let's go with some green undertone now. So the idea I've gone with so far is that the deepest shadows have need some of the blood color. That's what you usually see on flesh tones normally. But I also did in some blue because I wanted it to be more colder looking palette. Now going forward, there's going to be more yellow mixed in for the undertone, which is why I'm going with green now, and then transition into yellow. And after that, hopefully go over everything with a couple of glaze layers of skin tone to bring it to a more humanish looking color. I wish I had the skill and patience to paint minis. I could go off on a whole tangent about that. In my D&D home game, I played Dwarf Punk, and recently I've become good friends with a fire giant. However, that's hard to believe lore-wise. It was quite a roleplay change. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you can pull pretty much anything off, I think. Going back to what Dungeons and Chronic was saying, it doesn't take any particular kind of skill. I mean, given time, you can get to pretty much anything. If it's just the getting things done, crossing it off the list, you could very easily just get some contrast paints, do some genital highlighting like I did here, and you're done. Now, the thing is that, for example, I don't like painting miniatures just for the sake of having painted miniatures. Just I like to take my time painting, mess things up if necessary, just enjoy the process. So, for example, contrast paints are great for getting paints on the miniatures and miniatures on the table, but that doesn't appeal to me so much because I just like taking my time over it, even if I do it badly, even whatever. But then again, I mean, like I don't feel the need to have only painted miniatures on the table. I will happily play with grey miniatures. I will happily play against people who only have grey miniatures. Yeah, get some minis, brushes, paint, practice makes perfect. And let's be honest, I mean, you don't even have to be perfect because if you don't like it, then you can always strip the paint off and paint it again. Or if you're working with creatine paints like I'm doing, you can literally repaint over it with no loss of detail. And besides, I mean, at the end of it, if you just had an afternoon having fun putting paint on miniatures, I think that's enough value of its own. The thing is, I mean, you don't have to have painted miniatures. It's end of the day. I mean, you could even be playing with tokens for if that's what makes you happy. How many character points should I place in painting skill to get to this level? I have Dexter. I'm not sure what level you're talking about because I don't know it right now. If there's an ugly stage in any project, this is definitely there right now. Actually, I think right now it would be funny to if there's an acid trip episode for the campaign, just to drop this in the way it's painted now. Still, I mean, among other things, if anyone is doing any miniature painting and doesn't use paint handles yet, use paint handles. I mean, this is just an old vitamin bottle. It makes it so much easier. I mean, one thing I found as I got older is that I can't paint without a miniature handle. I can't paint for more than about 30 minutes without getting hand cramps. With this, just something to hold on to, it's much easier. Right now, I'm trying to get some paint into the hand here. Honestly, there are a lot of weird quick tricks you can use to make minis look good these days. No joke. So one thing is that I had taken a break from hobbying for about 10 years. 10, 15 years, I mean, it was a while. But when I got back, I got on YouTube and had a look at what was there and all sorts of weird new things like glazing and layering and wet blending and non-metallic metal. Things that I had never even knew about, and suddenly they were very pleased. Felt a bit like, one of those movie cavemen that get defrosted out in the modern world, and they're like, it's kind of funny because most of the miniature painting I'd been exposed to before then was the Games Workshop heavy metal style, which is always this very clean box art kind of thing. So it was quite an experience. So if you're avoiding starting mini painting because you don't think you can do it well enough, don't. Professor Dungeon Master has a neat little video for beginners where he shows how he simply base coats everything grey, then dry brushes with lighter grey. Then he adds washes over certain areas. Yeah, I mean, first of all, you can't. Not being able to do something well is no excuse not to start anything. It's if you want to do something, do it. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. Yeah, you have to accept that you will suck for a while at the beginning until you get the ropes down. I mean, I think I've got my first painted miniature somewhere, and yeah, that basically looks like it was dunked in a can of paint. You keep trying, you keep getting better. Which holds true of anything except skydiving. I was always amazed what the Rackham Company painters were able to do with paints on the old confrontation. Unfortunately, I've heard good things about confrontation, but that era kind of passed me by. I know nothing about them. Yeah, I should probably paint his feet as well. That would be a good thing to do. Giant with grey feet would be very weird. I think that's true for everyone. I mean, we're not saying go and do a painting competition first thing out of the door. I mean, it's like that would be rather weird. But yeah, if you want to learn, you have to try. Otherwise, there's no getting better. If you don't want to learn, that's another thing. It's like don't worry about it. I mean, this is a hobby. It's not something that you have to learn. There's no statutory requirement to learn how to paint miniatures. I mean, if you're part of a gaming group, you could even be lucky and have someone who really likes painting miniatures, and you could have them do it for you. So one piece of advice that I don't hear often enough is use big brushes. So I use this size of brush for most things on most miniatures, even standard 28mm ones. You just get so much more paint into it, it doesn't dry up so quickly. And if you're a bit careful, it's no less precise than others. Just bought a Lord of the Rings book game just for the minis and afraid to paint them. Yeah, I mean, that's again, if you want them painted, you either have to learn or find someone to paint them for you. But again, if you want to paint them, just start, keep going. At worst, you just strip them. I think if they're plastic miniatures, there are a few ways to clean them up. If you use thin paints, very thin paints, you don't even need to clean them up. Usually, you can just paint right over it. But yeah, I mean, initially, I get the concern because when I was younger and on a very limited budget, yeah, you'd get a nice miniature and you'd be like, yeah, I don't want to ruin this. But yeah, you're not going to ruin anything. It's good. Somehow managed to get a piece of lint stuck to the fingers here. I mean, there's still a use for a 000 brush, but you're not going to use a 000 brush to base coat because that would take you all day. Okay, so let's see. This is what we're at right now. Got the green going on. And I think I'm going to start with the yellows. Okay. Going for Naples yellow on this one. Now, normally before I paint yellows, I usually like to change my paint water because it gets polluted very easily. But I think this is clear enough so far. In fact, the only really good yellow I found for coverage was cadmium yellow. That seems to go over everything with no problems. Any other yellow I've ever tried is just yeah, pain in the ass. Oh yes, cheap bags of one-color plastic toys, prime and paint them. Those are excellent to practice on. The only thing I would suggest with that though is that make sure that you prime them properly because some of them can be very annoying to paint. The plastic just doesn't take the paint, which is why you have to be careful when you're priming them. But once you get the priming done properly, then yeah, excellent things to practice on. Okay, behold my Technicolor nightmare. Mm -hmm. Okay, I do seem to have missed a whole lot here, but that's okay. I'll finish doing the yellow and then I'll get back to it. So what kind of paints do you guys like using? I mean, like, mostly use these artist acrylics. They last 4 years, and they're pretty good coverage, and I like being able to thin them down with a bit more control. Okay, bye, Chris. Testing out the paint on the thumb is also a really good habit to pick up, as long as you're using non-toxic paint, of course. Okay. That's good. So one thing I'm trying to do here is to preserve the deep shadows left by the original spray painting, because I think they looked really good and dramatic, which is why there's a lot more purple around the legs and on the other side. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Okay, loosely collected, mostly Vallejo acrylics. My terrain is almost exclusive cheap acrylic big bottle paint. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm mostly asking for miniature painting because for terrain painting you absolutely need some kind of cheap acrylic. I mean, the volumes don't even get anywhere close. So for example, here I already made a mistake and didn't follow my own advice, put in too much red. That's alright. Clean off the brush, and you can usually wick it off. Done. It's just paint, you can just move it around. There. Would cheap acrylic paint be good for minis? I mean, it's a start. I mean, I've seen people use house paint for miniatures, so It depends on the pigmentation though. I mean, as long as you can get it to stick to the primer, it should work. It might take 3 coats instead of 2, but again, slap it on there, see what comes out. Okay, so that's as far as I want to get the skin for now. What I'm going to do is get started on the leather scent first, but I'm going to change the paint water first because it's already a purplish color, and I don't want that on the first. So I will be back in about 5 minutes. 1 sec. And back. Oops. I try to keep 2 cups of water at hand when painting, one clean in case I need it to tin, the other dirty to clean the brushes out with. Yep, that's a good idea. One other tip that I found very useful, but I don't always remember to follow, is to keep a clean brush next to you. I mean, a fine pointed one, not a completely different kind of brush, so that you can mop up any mistakes really quickly. But yeah, just sometimes just I'm a brush licker, so lick the brush, clean it out of paint, and then wipe off the mistake you made. Let's see. Dungeons and Chronics. I mean, I have painted a young white dragon, a Greek, and a spectator. Okay, a Greek. Wait. Yeah. Sorry about that. Should be a bit clearer now. Stuck the microphone in the wrong ear and it was much further away from my mouth. And yeah, Dungeons and Chronics, if you want to throw some photos in the community showcase, why don't have a look at them later? We can discuss them if you like. Assuming you want some critique, I mean. Here we go. Yeah, I do plan some improvements for the stream in general. First thing I need to sort out is a larger disk because the one I'm using is a bit too small for this kind of thing. And while I'm there, I'll probably look into getting a microphone stand so I can use the microphone for this kind of stream. Okay. Actually, I think I'll go for a flat brush for this. I'm going to start working on the fairs. So a flat brush I find is usually better for larger areas. But one other tip that I remember that is really useful is from Leif from Devs and Dice when he was over in the interview a few couple of years ago now, I guess. They mentioned that you don't need to put detail, the same amount of detail everywhere in the miniature. So, for example, the back of the miniature or whatever. Well, some of them are covered with large cloaks or stuff like that anyway, so there isn't so much work to do. But if you focus most of your effort around the face area, like a strong focal point, that's already going to look better. Because let's face it, for most part, people aren't going to be watching the miniature at this distance. Yeah, but going back to the subject of paints, when I first started painting, I started with enamel paints at first, and I had no idea how those worked. I didn't even know about thinners, to be honest, so the whole thing ended up pretty disastrous. Just using acrylics instead was a massive step up. And now that I think of it, I think the next step after what you call it, enamel paints wasn't even acrylics, it was poster paint, which didn't work great, but it worked better than the enamels. Oh yeah, and another thing is the amount of effort you put into a model depends on how many of them you need as well. So if you're painting 50 goblins, you're not going to spend 2 hours painting each one of them. On the plus side, when you've got that many models, I find that it's okay if they individually look because the once you see them in bulk together, they look a lot more. Just the volume of them just makes them stand out. Hey, David, how are you doing? What is our resident med scientist doing today? Okay, so right now this is the usual bit where you have to try to decide which parts are fair and which parts are hair or beard or whatever. Anyone who paints Viking miniatures probably knows the drill. Writing my script for the Making Things Move class at Mythic. Oh, that's nice. So yeah, if anyone is going to Mythicon, I believe, David, how many classes were you doing there? I think it was 2, or did you say 3? Yeah, so if you want to learn to harness the power of electronics for evil, David is the man for you. Do you modify the minis after or before painting them? This one is not modified, but usually I only do that before I paint them. I just go over any modifications, like if you want to swap hands or swap heads or whatever, just I usually do it before I paint them. It's much easier. In fact, I never even got the hang of painting minis on the sprue, which is a useful skill, but never got the hang of it. Three classes at Mythicon in North Carolina in November. LED 101 and making things move. Ooh. David, would you believe if I told you that the Terraintronics kit is still packed up? I haven't used it yet. I'm still waiting for a good idea to use it on. Or a bad idea. No, actually, I would settle for a bad idea to use it for. Oh, okay. Even Boyle Hobbit used one this morning in his video. I was surprised. Well, it's a hell of an endorsement, man. Okay, so that was the fair I could reach easily, so I'm swapping back to the pointy brush. For those hard to reach places. Okay, looks like there weren't that many to be honest, so yeah, that's good. Yeah, maybe I could start on those straps as well. Do you normally listen to YouTube videos when you're driving? I mean, I get audiobooks and stuff like that, but listening to crafting videos sounds strange to me. And a fantastic tip this week from Wilox Armory: if you use corrugated cardboard for the walls, you automatically have channels to hide your wires. Yeah, I watched that video. That whole build is really awesome. I mean, the way that the mileage that Willow can get out of corrugated cardboard is fantastic. It's a very underrated material. That's a really good way of making large areas of texture. Just put it on a sticker sheet. That's a brilliant idea. Man, this guy has a lot of straps. Okay, I think I'll save the really tiny ones for now. Okay. I think we can get started on the skin tones because I think I need to give my eyes a break before I start working on the really tiny straps and stuff. And I don't want to leave you all in suspense about how that goes. And I think I shall start with a yellow ochre, please. My only complaint with cardboard is how it responds to watering, loose paints, etc. What I found so far is that if you apply some fairly liberal spray varnish, then it's fairly resistant. I mean, if you coat it enough, it's not going to go anywhere. Yeah, it should do. So, throwing all caution to the wind, let's start on the most visible part. Excuse me. Okay, there's a tiny drop up here where it pulled up. I want to try to remove that. There you go. Okay, I'm just using acrylic paints. Okay. don't think that looks too bad. I'd probably need another couple of layers of glaze on top of that, but I think it's a step in the right direction. Advice for your next hangout: get music playing quietly in the background. I was thinking about that. I wasn't entirely sure how or when to do that, but actually, I think I can use the. Oh, let's see. Maybe I can use the audio library. Okay. Any preferences for type of music? I'm just going to go for mm, cinematic and let's see. Mood. Calm. Let's go for calm. Calm is good. Okay, that was a bit loud for me. 25 to 30 decibels. Okay, how's this? Okay, not sure about the volume. Okay, tell you what, let's figure it out for another time. Probably going to need a lot of tweaking. Yeah, I mean, I guess a totally silent stream might be a bit weird, so we're probably going to look into it for next time. Gonna have to do some research. But yeah, that was a good idea. Okay, so the idea here is that I'm putting the super thin paint over the layers I did earlier, which is just going to tint it. But I want most of the color under it to stay there. I sent pics of tissue. Okay. Oh, text was collected. actually. Let me just finish a couple of layers of this and we shall jump to the community showcase. Now, I do have a question. What would you guys prefer? Because I'm pretty sure I'm not going to get anything anywhere close to finished with this one today. So what I can do is either finish it off stream and next time I do this kind of thing, I do a different miniature, or just put it aside and continue it on the next stream. I'll be honest, I'll probably forget what I was doing by then, even if it's probably going to be next week. Hi, Dark Minis, good to see you. Excuse me. Let's see, where did here. So in case you guys don't know already, Dark Minis is an absolutely amazing miniature painter, and you people should check out his channel. I think it's fairly new. I think there are only a couple of videos in there, but both of them are very well worth watching. Doo, doo, doo. Wait, I think there. Yeah, definitely going to need a couple more layers of glaze. Okay, loosely collected, I was talking about darkroom minis. And, oh, hi David, bye. Okay, painting the mountain giant from Blood Rage. Or to be more realistic, I am experimentally yeeting paint at. I guess this stream is a bit like one of those weird pieces of performance art, like where people watch a man eat noodles for 36 hours or something like that. Hopefully, it will not be 36 hours long. That Prince of Bel Air. I'm looking into building a Danish paper theater to use for TTRPGs, like the team. I am not sure what a Danish paper theater is, but that sounds awesome. And yeah, I remember the DMG Info stage system because that was a piece of genius design for online play. Okay, I see that someone has watched my most recent video. Well done, you. Okay, so here's where we're at right now. The skin is going the direction I had hoped it would, but I will definitely need to put several more layers on that. So for now, I'm just going to have a quick break from painting and let's have a look at the stuff in the community showcase. 1 second. Here we go. Okay, so first one up is from Meredith from Skitter Tree. From what I understand, this is for her Monster Bash entry. Eldritch Skeletal Mersquid. Well, that's a lot of things. So basically a plastic skeleton, raffia and wire tentacles. All the good stuff. And oh, jellyfish. Okay, so she says these are made from hot glue and tube ribbon. I'm not sure what tube ribbon is, but these look like a lot of fun. One sec. Yeah, it looks okay. Okay, now something from Airtime Brick. We've got these jersey barriers. Oh, good. And I have no idea what this is. Definitely some kind of 40k chaos chainsaw spiky bloody thing. I'm guessing we're going to see it on his channel soon enough, though. That's a lot of spiky bits. And mimic speakers, I guess. It definitely looks dangerous. Yeah, and the mouth definitely hits kind of uncanny valley. Yeah, nice work. Okay, and this one is from Rob Simpson, the aforementioned Darkroom Minis. We've got some kind of Chaos Sorcerer going. And this one really blew me away. I like the glowing effects, the transitions on the cloth, but the whole thing brings me to mind of some kind of bioluminescent, not sure if it would be a fungi or some bioluminescent fish, but this whole thing looks amazing. Okay, Rob, I don't know if you're going to do a tutorial about this, but please do. And I see Camera War Gaming joined us. Good evening. Okay, oh, this one's from Dungeon Matron. This deserves to be full screen. Right. So Lisa, I have no idea what you did there, so I'm just going to have to assume it's witchcraft. I love it. Okay, and some kind of worky robot from Earthman Brick again. A lot of stuff going on in there. Definitely very, 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 very worky. Nice weathering too. See? Ooh, okay. So Quizboard Terrain has some work in progress for the Spooky Challenge. Which, if I remember correctly, is on the I want to say the 27th, but I definitely check. But yeah, if anyone wants to build some spooky pieces to show off, that's the time. Is, is the paint mixer shaped like a little ghost as well? Okay. Oh, okay, so it's a two-way mirror film over a glow in the dark skull with a light behind it. Okay, thanks, Lisa. I still say it's witchcraft. And let's see. Oh, okay. So, Black Post loosely collected. There's a lot of stuff going on here. I love the combination of houses and risers and how it's set up. And the texture on the chimney stack and that weathering up top, that looks really excellent. Okay. Two little skeletons in here. Some nice little diorama. Oh, nice poster. I think if I'm reading correctly, the headstone on this one says bend better, and I can't quite see the other one though. Oh well, okay, so we've been building an entire skull monster thingy. So did you build it on top of a polystyrene mannequin and go over it with clay? The end result looks metal as hell. Okay, let's see. Stefano from Chimera Gaming. Those are night ones, right? The gate behind them looks gnarly. And yeah, Chimera Gaming, another fantastic channel. Okay, so I'm guessing this is Dungeons and Chronics. Okay, some little gravestones. I like the tiny candle and the lamp there, there's details. Okay, sneaking in, a cheeky work in progress at the end, moonstone armor. Ah, okay, these were the ones you were doing a study for. Wait, oh, just look at that. Now, that is one thing that I never had the patience or ever remember to do, just doing studies. But yeah, I mean, definitely paid off here. Looks amazing. Okay, and more from Dungeon Mating. Brazier with a sculpted in the shape of a hand. That really lights up. So there's all the little wiring going through there. Okay, yeah, I mean, some people say that painting takes patience, but I'm definitely, yeah, wiring is definitely more patience intensive, I guess. Okay, so it was collected. I made it with a bunch of cheap resin cast Halloween decor. The last part was a ruined Halloween decoration that was foam. A friend was throwing it away. All right, and I rebuilt it with epoxy sculpt. Don't need to bake epoxy sculpt. Still, I mean, it looks amazing. Okay, I see that. Ah, Cosbertrade is heading off by Cosbertrade. And Dungeon Maintenance Race is going to be a wall sconce. Wearing that small seems like surgery to me. Yeah, same. Yeah, literally rocket surgery. Okay, thanks everyone for sending in your pieces. And yeah, those were some really amazing things. Lisa, I'm looking forward to see what you're doing with all the strange wiry stuff that you're building up. Okay, so I think I definitely need to give my eyes a rest now. So we'll probably pick this up either next time or another time. Just please do let me know what you thought of this format of stream. I'm not planning to replace the usual interview format completely. It's just for times when either there's a risk of the electricity getting cut off because of reasons, or maybe the interviewee couldn't make it or whatever. So might be sprinkling these in from time to time. So let me know what you thought. Other than that, have a lovely week and thank you for dropping in. Bye all.